as long as you keep up the payments.
Come on.
Hold on. You're going to tell me what this is all about, or what?
Told you, some kind of celebration. What's the matter? Don't you want a free lunch?
Lunch is for the middle classes. I have dinner.
Thanks ever so.
It's a pleasure, madam.
That was nice of him, wasn't it?
I ain't sure.
What a waste.
I expect his dad thinks so, yeah. Now, come on, you're going to tell me what this is all about.
Yep. Hang on. Giving up the stripping game. Gone into business for myself.
Deborah Mitchell, eh? Hairdresser, manicurist and facials.
All private, like. Visiting clients in their own homes. Stuck a couple of ads in the local. Got a terrific response. Great, innit?
Yeah, well, beats digging ditches.
Beats having old men leering at you and all.
Did you know anything about that?
Trained for it when I left school, didn't I? I've got certificates and diplomas.
Funny, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Well, I don't know. I've known you for so long, I can't imagine you doing anything else.
I'm not all tits and bum, you know, Terry.
No, I didn't mean that.
Guess there's quite a few things you don't know about me.
Yeah, there probably is, yeah.
Well, aren't you pleased for me?
Yeah, I think it's smashing. And that's why I'm going to buy you a meal.
No, I said my treat.
I mean it.
Macho Man time, is it?
That's right, yeah. No, I'm not having you buy me meals. Oh, I'll tell you what, though. I ain't got much dough, so if you pay for it now, I'll give you the money later, all right?
Tell you what, I'll make a deal with you.
What?
I buy lunch, you take me out tonight.
All right.
Oh, don't like that one much.
That's quite good. Me?
Conceited sod.
I'll do all this brandy, all this food. Might have to have a lie down this afternoon.
I'm a beautician now, you know.
Yeah, but how can you do jury service when you've got form?
What, bit of petty years ago? Don't mean a thing nowadays. Do you know, it is estimated that 1 person in 3 in this country will cop a conviction for something or other during their lifetime.
No.
Yeah.
The whole moral fabric of society is falling down around our ear holes, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, I do not know what the world is coming to, Harper.
Very droll, Terence, very droll.
Hold on, is there anything in these boxes?
Yeah, see-through yashmats for liberated Muslim ladies. Do you know Arabs are punting them at twice the price I'm asking?
Tell me he's kidding someone.
Well, I wish I was. They're very hard to shift. Hey, listen, you're going to have to look after things while I'm away doing my bit for the cause of justice.
Like what?
Well, keep an eye on this place. Maybe punt a bit of gear. You can manage that, can't you?
Yourself, I think I can manage that, you know.
Don't get lemon. I don't want any ag while I'm out of the way.
Your books are all right, aren't they?
Books? What have books got to do with it?
Well, in case the tax or the VAT men decide to have a little visit.
Terry, not those words, please. Please.
Well, they went round to see Dave a little while ago, didn't they?
No, Terry, please.
Nothing wrong, is there, Arthur?
Yeah. Half attack. half attack.
It's good, isn't it?
So you're going to stand it, then?
Well, nothing to stand. Looking forward to it, as a matter of fact.
I don't know that I'd have had it.
Hey?
Well, it's like grassing, isn't it?
How do you mean?
Well, you deciding whether you're going to send some poor bastard down the road.
No, it's simple. If it's one of your own kind, it's a not guilty, isn't it? If, on the other hand, it's a nonce case in the dock who's been getting at kids, then it's into the shovel and plenty of porridge.
Mr. Wong Ho Ling, Mr. Arthur Edward Daly, Mr. Leroy Winston White, Miss April Carter.
Tell me, where'd you get that lovely tan from?
Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yes, it was.
As each member of the jury rises to be sworn, you may challenge. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
The jury usher will now take the oath.
I just want you to stay close to him while I'm busy.
Oh, why is that, Gav?
Because he's just started working out of this station and I want to know what he gets up to. His reputation has preceded him. The man is a zealot. He'd nick one of us given half a chance. Larry! I was just telling our Welsh friend here, if there's any kind of assistance you need over the next few days, he's your man, just till you get your feet under the table. Settle in, you know.
Thank you, Alfred. I'll bear that in mind.
Arthur Edward Daly.
No challenge, Your Honour.
Please read from the card.
No need, my dear. I swear by Almighty God, I will faithfully try the several issues joined between our sovereign lady, Queen, and a defendant, and give a true verdict according to the evidence.
You haven't served on a jury before, have you, Mr. Daly?
No, my lord, but having heard the oath 5 times, what you might call a retentive memory.
It's a refreshing facility.
Thank you, my lord.
All right, you may sit down.
Thank you, my lord.
Leroy Winston White. Do you have many male clients, Deborah?
Oh, yeah, loads.
I just wondered. I mean, it's the first time I've, had this sort of thing.
Really? You'll be surprised. A lot of gentlemen have it done at home.
Oh, you make it sound rather naughty.
Do I? Nothing naughty about it, Mr. Parsons.
Now, you've got to take a mature attitude over this sort of thing, Joe. I mean, what's a bit of gear? Everybody has to do a bit of ducking and diving these days, life being what it is.
Yeah.
Let him who lobs the first stone. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll take your point, Arthur. Yeah. Take your point.
We'll take that bit of verbal the police shoved in. I mean, who'd have thought for a
Well. If it isn't the bold Arthur.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Chisholm. Business acquaintance, Joe. I'll see you inside.
Oh, right, Arthur, yeah. Nice to meet you.
Well, they keeping you busy, Mr. Chisholm?
What are you doing here, Arthur? Up on one, are you?
Me? No. You know me, Mr. Chisholm. I'll keep well away from villainy. No. I've just had lunch break. I'm doing jury service.
Jury service? You?
A few misdemeanours in the dim and distant past do not disqualify me.
They must be more desperate for bodies than I thought to let you through.
Uncalled for, Mr. Chisholm. Uncalled for. I'm a law-abiding citizen serving my queen and country.
Bullshit, Arthur. What court are you in, anyway?
4.
4?
Yeah, it's very interesting, actually. But the prosecution don't seem to have a very strong case. But I can't talk about it, you understand. You all right, Mr. Chisholm?
And the exhibits you see before you, do you identify them as the same garments you found hidden in the defendant's flat?
With respect, Your Honour, the witness has made no mention of the garments being hidden in the flat.
Well, as I understand it, Mr. Nottick, there is no dispute that the garments in evidence are part of the stolen consignment.
That is so, Your Honour.
Well, then I cannot see what possible difference it makes whether they were hidden or not. They were there, and that is not in dispute.
Indeed, Your Honour, but with respect, it is a question of implication.
Mr. Notting, the garments were found in the defendant's flat. That is a fact. This is not a seminar on semantics.
As you wish, Your Honour.
You're a very attractive young lady, if I may say so.
Thank you.
I suppose all your male clients make the same observation.
Nice place you got here. You lived here long?
Yes. Yes, I suppose I have. Deborah, I don't suppose...
What, Mr. Parsons?
I mean, is this the extent of your services?
Afraid so. It's all I'm really qualified for, you see.
Oh, well, perhaps you ought to consider extending your repertoire. Like, I don't know, personal massage, that sort of thing. I'm sure it would pay well. Oh!
Sorry, Mr. Parsons, you sort of distracted me.
It was at this point I arrested the defendant, charged him with the offence of handling stolen goods.
And did he make a reply?
He did, sir.
And that was?
He said, "This is a right fit-up. I had nothing to do with it. Ask my mum."
Ask my mum. I see.
Yes, Mr.
Daly, Your Lordship. Arthur Edward Daly.
Yes, Mr. Daly, what is it?
A point of clarification, Your Lordship. The term fit up, I think I heard it used recently in a television documentary concerned with police malpractice. Would I be correct in assuming that it means corruptly falsifying the evidence against the innocent?
You would indeed, Mr. Daly. And while it is commendable to concern yourself with detail, I would remind you that it is customary for members of the jury to sit, listen, and absorb the evidence, and not to interrupt the proceedings. I hope I make myself clear.
Perfectly, Your Lordship. My worship.
You sure you won't change your mind, Deborah?
Sorry, Mr. Parsons. Nothing personal, but it's like I said. I'm only qualified in certain things.
But what if I were to say that...
What was that?
I don't know. You better wait here. I'll go and find out.
Got it. There you are.
The door.
The door! It was a lady. She got away.
All right. Don't panic. She's only left a calling card.
Right. Well, let's get out of here before she pays the old
All
bill.
right. Come on.
I bet Chisholm was well pleased.
Well, you should have seen his face. Sick as a parrot.
Yeah, I used to think I was a parrot.
But I'm all right now.
I used to think I was a parrot.
But I'm all right now.
I used to think I was
all right, Dave, all right.
Yeah, well, I don't think you ought to upset Chisholm, do you?
No, bloody right. The last time he did, I ended up in the dock. Remember?
Oh, yeah, another drink, anyone?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I'll tell you what, though. I've got a little dinner date later on.
Terry, now you know me, generous to a fault. If it was for something sensible, like a new pair of shoes, I would gladly let you have the money. But to blow on a bird like that...
Bird like what?
Bird like who?
That stripper bird, you know.
Yeah, and she's got a name, you know, Debbie.
He's only trying to get into me for 30 sols to take her out. Tell him, Dave, will you?
Well...
No, you tell me.
All right, Terence, all right. No need for aggression. I am simply questioning the logic of you getting yourself into debt for a girl you don't need to spend money on. Dave knows what I mean, don't you, Dave?
No.
Oh.
Now, listen, you, just because she's done a bit of stripping don't mean to say she's a slag. And it don't mean she can be treated like one either, got it?
Oh, very touchy, aren't we?
Yeah.
Ain't you never heard of romance, Arthur?
Oh, like that, is it?
No, it's not like that.
Look, Arthur, you still haven't told us about that court case.
Love to, Dave. Taking the oath, haven't I?
Oh, my God.
Mustn't discuss it with anyone outside the jury room. The fellow in the Father Christmas gear made that very clear. A man's very liberty could hang in the balance if I, or any one of those 11 other good men and true, betray that sacred trust. Geezer up for receiving clobber, part of a lorry load. Seems like a nice boy.
Has he got any chance?
Not on the evidence so far. But that is no reason why he shouldn't be given the benefit of the doubt, Dave, is it?
Of course not, Arthur.
Look, listen, are you going to lend me that dough or not?
Look, Terry, I've stated my situation on that.
No, look, while you're busy upholding justice, you want me to look after the shop.
That is something entirely different. That is a business arrangement.
Yeah. And part of that business arrangement is I'm on wages, so I want a sub now.
Here you are, there's a score. That is all the market can bear.
Generous to a fault, he says. I'm off for a see you.
Well, you might at least buy us a drink now you're holding folding.
I think you've upset him.
Me? How?
Looks like the safe's been emptied, Gaff.
Oh, my God. You have anything of great value in it, did you say?
Of course I bloody did. What do you think a safe's for? That bitch had something to do with this. She must have set the whole thing up.
I didn't. I was out getting the cops.
Where'd you get hold of that?
Known the lady quite some time, I believe.
Listen, nothing's happened to her, has it? She hasn't been hurt?
No, nothing like that's happened, Terry.
I will conduct this interview if you don't mind, Jones.
Yes, sir. Now, hold on, what's happening? What is this, eh?
This is an interview. I'm conducting an investigation into a robbery that took place yesterday afternoon.
Debbie ain't been robbed, has she?
Well, has she?
Where were you at 5 p.m. yesterday, McCann?
No, mate, no. I'm not getting involved in any interrogation till I know what's going on, right?
Still on a suspended for shoplifting, I see.
I'll leave it out. That was a right fit-up, and he knows it.
Oh, really? It's pathetic how often you villains use that excuse these days. Yeah. Now, let's stop pissing around, shall we? Where were you yesterday around 5?
I don't know. Now, as it happens, I do know. I was doing some work for a mate of mine.
Name of this mate?
It was Arthur, wasn't it? Mr. Arthur Daly.
No, there's Arthur Daly, do we, James?
Oh, we know him, aye. But you wouldn't get involved in anything like this.
Like what?
That remains to be seen, doesn't it?
So, following your raid on my client's flat and the subsequent surveillance on those premises, he never once returned. Is that correct?
Well, we never saw him.
Did you try and locate him elsewhere?
We made inquiries, yes.
But failed to find him?
That is correct, sir.
In fact, it was something like a fortnight later, was it not, when Mr. Smith, of his own volition, arrived at the police station to inquire as to why you were looking for him.
With his lawyer, yes.
A normal precaution any sensible person would take under the circumstances, is it not?
That would depend upon your point of view, I suppose.
I suggest to you that anyone who has anything to hide, especially from the police, would not arrive on their doorstep to volunteer a statement.
You might call it a statement, sir. I would say it was a story more suitable as a Walt Disney fantasy.
Sergeant Chisholm, you know better than to make a remark like that.
I'm sorry, Your Honour.
What you reckon?
Well, she's got to come home sometime.
Shall we hang about?
Yeah, could do.
Well, she probably didn't even report it.
Well, she got a good look at us both. Do you want to risk it?
Nah.
Right, then get in.
Oh, this is bleeding ridiculous. All it is a lockup, right, where he keeps a few bits and pieces. I mean, he needs it. I mean, he's in trading, isn't he? Well, it's all legit and above board, isn't it, Mr. Jones?
How would I know, Terry?
Well, that's lovely, isn't it? Thanks a million, pal.
God, dear.
Do you seriously expect the jury to believe that you met a man in a pub? This elusive Scouse Billy, a man who you yourself say you hadn't seen in over 20 years, and said that he could stay in your flat while you were going off?
But that's the truth. On my granny's eyesight.
The standard oath will suffice, Mr. Smith.
Well, leaving aside this preposterous alibi of yours for the moment, do you make a habit of letting out your flat to comparative strangers, Mr. Smith?
Not if I can help it. Too many thieves about, isn't there?
Silence. This is not a music hall, Smith. Any more facetious remarks like that, and I shall hold you in contempt of court.
Sorry, my lord. I ain't trying to be funny. I mean, I'm right on offer here, ain't I?
On offer? Never mind, answer the question.
What question was that, my lord?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Very nice. Very interesting.
It's all legit. Arthur's got some receipts somewhere, hold on. Now, well, I don't know where he keeps them. He's probably taken them home or something.
Tell me, where precisely at this moment in time is this friend of yours, Arthur Daly?
As a matter of fact, he's in court. On jury service.
Jury service, really?
Yes, really.
Not taking the piss, are we, McCann?
Well, ain't going to be hard for you to check, is it? Our Sergeant Chisholm, it's one of his cases.
Bloody hell. That a fact?
I can hardly believe it myself, Gav. I mean, it can't be right, can it?
Right. Right, of course it's not bloody right. It's the system. A system I'm seriously beginning to believe is conspiring against me personally. What have I done? Why me? Why me?
No good getting paranoid about it, is there?
Paranoid. Who's been saying I'm getting paranoid? Who? Come on, who?
Oh, not me, Gav. Not me.
I want to ask you something. It's a serious question. Do you think it's possible to be haunted by someone when they're still alive?
Well, if it's Arthur Daly you're talking about, I've got some news you might be interested in.
Be upstanding for His Honour.
Going on a bit, isn't it? I don't suppose you'd like to join Joe and me for a drink across at the... No, you probably prefer tea. Takeaway?
Now, let me get this right. There's a tie-up, and the victim is a jeweller claiming a 20 grand loss.
That's right.
And the girl Soames thinks set it up is a friend of Terry McCann's.
That's right.
It's a conspiracy. It is.
Well, that's what Sergeant Soames thinks. But I can't see McCann getting
I'm
involved.
not talking about that. I'm talking about the conspiracy against me.
Oh.
So, Soames lifts McCann on sus and decides to take a look around Arthur Daly's lockup.
That's right.
For what reason?
Well, he wasn't too forthcoming on that, actually. But presumably to look for the stolen jewellery.
It's ridiculous.
That's what I thought, Gav.
Then let McCann go.
Aye. And the girl when we got back to the station.
Why?
Well, nothing to hold them on, really. Anyway, the point is, Soames is out now trying to get a warrant to officially search Arthur's locker for stolen property.
Is he indeed?
Yes, but might that not be dodgy, Gav? I mean, it's not going to look too clever to the super, is it? If Soames finds anything. Arthur and Terry being sort of old prospects of yours, like, isn't it?
I don't care. I like it. I like it.
I know it.
What do you fancy? Governor? We have a log and for what?
She came in here looking upset. I can see why now. All I could tell her was you might be down to lock up or at home. Well, she reckoned she tried that. Then she left. Have you tried ringing her place?
Yeah, I've tried that. There's no joy at all. Listen, give us your dog, will you? I'll try again.
There you go.
Cheers, Dave.
I'll do it.
Get out of the way! Out the front!
Can't find her. Oh, she must have escaped. Are you bleeding? Well, I cut my hand, you prat. Come on, get back to the flat.
Zeb, you're not that hungry, are you?
Oh, Tone, let's borrow your phone.
Yeah, of course not.
Oh, thanks ever so.
Winchester Club? Here. Yeah, well, hang on, he's right here. Terry. Debbie. Sorry, Terry.
Hello? Yes, mate, it's all right. What? Now, listen, calm down. Where are you? Right, well, just stay there. No, I'll be there as soon as I can. No, it won't take long. Just keep calm, all right? I'll see you in a minute. Yeah, ta-ra. Cheers, Dave. I'll see you.
Terry.
I'll see you later.
Terry.
Are you deaf or something? I'll see you later. Oi, calm down. I'm here. You're safe, okay?
For how long? Those two bastards know where I live. They could come back at any time. Oh, Terry, I'm scared. First the police accused me of being involved, and now this. What am I gonna do?
You're gonna come back to my gaff, and you're gonna wait there till I've sorted it out, all right?
How are you gonna sort it out?
Well, I know a few faces. I'll ask around, see if someone can put me in touch with these two merchants.
No, Terry, you mustn't get involved.
I'm already involved. That lemon who pulled you thinks I'm part of the plot.
Oh, no.
Yeah, had me down the nick all morning.
I was there all night.
You'll know you were. Just giving Arthur Slaughter a spin and all. God knows what he's going to say. Tell thanks a lot, mate. Tell
That's how it is, Arthur.
Oh, no. Dave, tell me it's not true. Tell me you're at the wind-up.
When I tell you porkies about a thing like that, Arthur?
Did they find anything? You know, take anything?
Take anything?
The old bill at the lockup?
I don't think so.
Oh, thank God for that. I better get over there and check.
Hey, look, Arthur, Terry and Debbie are in...
Chisholm's behind this, you mark my words. This is pure malice. He is doing this to me.
Arthur...
You see what happens when I'm not around to look after things?
Yeah, well, considering that...
I warned Terry not to get involved with a bird of that sort. Now, you can bear me out on that, Dave.
Look, Arthur, Terry and Debbie look like getting fitted for robbery I had nothing to do with. And all you can do is moan them up being spun. They could be in serious trouble.
I could be in serious trouble if Plod decides they want to see some receipts for goods various.
Nevertheless,
but you're quite right, Dave. You're quite right. But what can I do? On top of all this ag, I am in the middle of deciding a man's fate. Aren't I?
You are wonderful. You know that.
Listen, do you want a drink or something?
I'd rather have a cup of tea, Tel.
Yeah, I'll do that.
What if we went down there together to the police station and tell them what has happened?
Do you think he believed that any more than he believed that other story of yours, eh? I tell you, this Soames geezer makes Chisholm look like a welfare worker.
Well, let's tell him then, Chisholm.
No, I don't think that'd be awfully good timing. You see, he's working on the case that Arthur's trying.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Then what are we going to do?
We're gonna have a cup of tea, aren't we?
Oh, my God. It's all gone.
Well, you seem to work all right under pressure.
Yeah, I see what they mean about nervous energy now.
Wish I didn't like you so much.
Hey?
Maybe I could fall in love with you.
What, ruin a perfect relationship? No, shut up. Don't worry, it's only Arthur and he can't get in.
Terry, I want a word with you. I know you're in there because I can see you. Terry, I want a word with you. About my stock. It's gone, all gone. What have you been up to?
Hold on, I'll get rid of him. Now, second thoughts, who needs any more aggravation, eh? Come here.
Terry, come on, come on. Terry.
Mr. Chisholm.
Go away, Arthur.
Go away? The whole of my stock confiscated? That is a gross infringement of my civil rights.
I'll tell you what this is, Arthur. It's a gross breach of court rules. I'm the prosecuting officer in this case. I shouldn't even be seen sneering at you from across the street.
I am a citizen, presently employed by the state in a quest for justice, and I ain't getting none. It's diabolical. Ain't there no code of conduct no more?
One more word, Arthur. One more, I'll have you done for contempt, and I mean it.
Oh, be reasonable, Mr. Chisholm. Look, it's my living.
The other one was shorter, about 30, blonde hair.
More mousy brown, actually.
Oh, well, apparently
Oh, with
it's...
the tash as well.
Yeah, it's more mousy brown the hair and he's got a moustache. Yeah. Yeah, well, if you can, mate, I'd appreciate it. No, don't go out your way. I mean, just keep your ears and eyes open. Yeah, cheers, Bill. Yeah, I'll see. Yeah, you never know. I might get down there. Yeah. Yeah, I'll try. Yeah, tell her, mate. Bye.
Terry, it's hopeless.
Give it a chance. A few more faces I can get hold of yet.
They had me going through the mugshots down at the station. I couldn't see anyone who even looked like them. Maybe they're not known villains.
Not all known villains have form, do they? Now, listen, I want you to stay here while I do a bit of snooping about.
Why do I have to? I was hoping to go back to the flat, get a change of clothes at least.
Now, what happens if those two loons turn up again? Anyway, you ain't got a car, have you?
Well, I thought maybe you could take me.
Oh, yeah, all right then.
Well, I suppose the first thing is to choose a foreman.
Yes, that is the usual, normal procedure. Yeah, how about you, mate? No?
What about you, Arthur? I mean, you seem to have some idea, you know, the way you handled that oath and it. I mean, why don't you do it?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, all right. As a matter of fact, I do have a certain working knowledge of the law.
Well, no one objects, do they?
No, let's just get on with it, shall we?
Well, what's the procedure? Do we just vote or what?
Just vote?
Well, the man's clearly guilty. You've only got to look at his face.
Madam, with respect, a man's boat is hardly a reasonable foundation on which to base a conviction.
Bloody right.
What is boat? I do not understand.
Boat race, madam. But look, let me just say this. As the duly elected foreman of this jury, I need hardly remind you that it is our sworn duty to weigh the evidence, balance the scales of justice, free ourselves from the constraints of prejudice and blind emotion, and arrive at a true and honest verdict in accordance with the facts. Thank you.
Very good, isn't it? Well, that's perfectly true, Mr.
Daly, Miss Arthur Daly. And you are?
Oh, Miss Carol Dalston, actually.
Oh, well, Carol. Oh, I can call you Carol, can't I?
Oh, yes, if you like.
Oh, I think first name's the best, don't you? It makes it all much cosier.
Yeah, that's right, Arthur. Yeah.
Oh, well, Carol?
Well, it just seemed to me that it might be a good idea to start off with a show of hands, to begin with.
I agree. At least we can see how we all stand before we start arguing the pros and cons. Sorry.
No, you are quite right. I was about to make the same suggestion myself. Is everyone in agreement?
Yes.
Very well. All those present here who think, without so much as a discussion, mind you, that the defendant is guilty, raise their right hand.
Not a very convincing story, would you say, James?
Both the doors are smashed, Gav.
Very observant, Jones.
And we didn't do it.
Tell me, did you intend withholding this bit of so-called information?
No. We were going to report it and then you turned up, right, Deb?
Right.
Even though it happened yesterday?
Yeah, well, Deb was upset, wasn't she? She was confused by what you did to her. Needed a bit of time to think, isn't that right, Deb?
Yes, right.
What is this, a double act? You do know, of course, that withholding information of a crime is a crime itself.
Don't you ever stop. Listen, she's told you all she knows, I've told you all I know, right? Now, why don't you stop agging us and get onto the cranks who did this? Hold on. You need a warrant before you get invited in here.
It's official.
Well, I have to admit that his alibi is a little difficult to believe.
Difficult? It's downright impossible.
Well, just because the man went camping in Epping Forest for a couple of weeks.
With his mother.
A man of that age?
It's ludicrous.
For God's sake, she must be 80 if she's a day. Did you see her? She had to be helped into the witness box. Camping, indeed.
So they are a tight-knit family with a penchant for the outdoor life. Is that so strange?
Strange, it's bizarre.
It's perfectly obvious that the two of them concocted that ridiculous story.
I shouldn't think the man's ever been in a tent in his life before.
Ah, now there I beg to differ.
That's right. I mean, he's a British Tommy, isn't he? His brief said so.
Exactly. A man who fought for Queen and country against the Boche to secure the democracy we live in now. This septic isle, this haven of fair play and give the underdog a chance. A land what welcomes these refugees from oppressed foreign parts.
Right on, my brethren, right on.
I fail to see what that has to do with the fact that it is absurd to expect us to believe that a man of his obvious type and age should go on a camping expedition with his octogenarian mother like two Boy Scouts.
I was forced to live in a tent during the troubles in my country. It is not a thing a person would do voluntarily.
Oh, my God.
I must say, as a witness, the mother wasn't very convincing.
Even less than the defendant, if that's possible.
That's right.
Not convincing? That sweet little old lady?
But she couldn't answer the questions about camping equipment. I've done a bit of it myself, you know.
The old dear was under oath, wasn't she? And let me tell you, when you are that age, you are too near the other side to tell porkies. As if the old dear would perjure herself.
Well, she is the defendant's mother.
I have small Chinese takeaway restaurant. All family work together.
It's good.
Oh, it's very profound, very relevant.
Excuse me.
Yes, Carol?
Well, I do think Arthur has a point. I mean, there was no direct evidence to contradict his alibi, was there?
Exactly, my dear, exactly. And remember his lordship's direction. If there is the slightest element of doubt in the issue before us, the defendant must be given a benefit, right?
Well, that's true.
Look, I think the guy was lying to him teeth. But it's cool. We all dig, right? So, I feel, say, we should have groove in with the foreman here and give him the benefit. What you say, sister?
That's right. I mean, you've got to play the white man, haven't you? Yeah, well, it's right, isn't it? I mean...
Satisfied?
Well, let me tell you the scenario the way I see it, McCann. You and this lady here work out a little scheme whereby, posing as some sort of phony beautician, she's able to enter...
Yeah, she's got diplomas.
Posing as some sort of phony beautician, she's able to enter the homes of innocent victims. A worthy target is then selected, and along with a as-yet unknown accomplice, you raid the place. How's that for starters?
Diabolical. Look, would she leave her name and address on a business card if that was the case, eh?
I deal with a lot of 4th Division villains, McCann. It's depressing how many of them make the most rudimentary mistakes.
Yeah, but that would be downright stupid, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
This is my appointments diary. Why don't you get in touch with the clients I've visited and check whether they've been robbed? That should prove that me and Terry ain't up to what you say.
And if any of them have?
Leave off.
To continue. You, Miss Mitchell, then try to cover yourself by reporting the robbery. However, when you fail in that little ploy, you get hold of McCann here, and you invent this ludicrous story about villains breaking in and threatening you.
But it's true!
It's pathetic. That's what it is. Come on, Jones.
Can't you find the door by yourself?
And I shall take great pleasure in nicking you both. Soon.
This is absurd. If you accept this preposterous alibi, then you must also accept that he's innocent. Good God, the clothes were found in his flat. Of course he had something to do with the stealing or receiving of them.
Yeah, well, you're forgetting about Scouse Billy, the mate he lent the flat to.
Oh, yes. This mysterious Liverpudlian, whom no one except the defendant has ever seen or heard of.
Look, it stands to reason a man's not going to come forward and confess, is he?
That's because he never existed in the first place.
Of course he doesn't. It's an insult to the intelligence.
Precisely.
Look, are you trying to say you've never met an old friend from the past? An acquaintance from yesteryear? Had a drink, reminisced, shed a tear of nostalgia for the old days?
I expect we all bump into old acquaintances from time to time, but I, for one, do not hand over the keys to my house and say, go on, live there. Use it as a warehouse for stolen property.
All right, so this Scouse Billy took a liberty. I mean, that's the point, isn't it? I know plenty of geezers pull a stroke like that.
Yes, yes, I rather suspect you do.
Don't you come that snobby bourgeois crap with me, mate. I mean, the trouble with people like you is you live in a middle-class ghetto and you don't get to meet the real people, do you?
Right, right. Old Chinese proverbs say, man with no shoes must sweep for a man with no feet.
Hope you don't mind, only I've got to get this finished. It's my Albert's birthday tomorrow.
Give it back.
Can you tell? That's him in the red car.
Oh, Bill.
Could be.
It is! Put your toe down!
God, you all right, Tel?
Yeah, remember that number. XMF 353N. XMF 353N. Got it? XMF 353N. Come on, let's go.
God.
I see. Now you're saying that a police officer who has probably had years of devoted service to the community to his credit was lying under oath.
No, not lying exactly. No, what I was suggesting was, well, you saw his eyes. Very shifty indeed. I mean, let's call it an exaggeration, an embellishment of the true facts in an excessive desire to get on in the job. I mean, quite understandable. I mean, crime rate rising, clean-up rate falling. Now, believe me, convictions are very important to an ambitious and ruthless guardian of the law. Stand on me, I know. I mean, you saw him in the box. All them little hesitations and them furtive glances. Dead giveaway, in my opinion.
I've never heard such balderdash.
Madam, ask yourself this question. Is he a sort of man from whom you'd like to buy a second-hand lawnmower?
Hello, sir. Dave?
Terry, Debbie, we ain't open yet, but if you need a drink, that
No,
man.
no, it's all right. No. I want a favour. Look, I wouldn't ask you if it wasn't important, right? But you've got a brother-in-law who's a cozzer down at Hendon.
Oh, no, Charles, no way.
No, listen, hear me out. It's to do with this aggro that Debbie and me are getting. Look, it'd get us right out of stock, honest.
What is it? I
I just want a car registration checked. Name and address of the owner.
Terry, have you any idea of the domestic aggravation I get asking that Ponce for a favour? I'll have to have him and my sister over for dinner, and that's just for asking.
Please, Dave.
When the prosecution asked him what his occupation was, he said coronation programme seller. I mean, for God's sake.
That was his little joke, that's all. Nerves. They're funny things, nerves. Affect different people in different ways.
Yes, true. Me, I sweat a lot.
How charming.
What about you, miss?
Well, actually, I sort of get a rash around here.
Oh, they're nasty.
It's scratching with me. I always start to scratch. Drives my Albert mad, it does.
Mr. Ling, how about you? Do people of the Oriental persuasion suffer with nerves?
With respect to honorable gentlemen, I try to mind my own business. When in Rome, do not be a Christian.
This is ridiculous. We're trying to reach a verdict here, not discussing nervous manifestations.
Do you think we could ask the usher for some tea?
Mr. Ling, would you mind repeating that?
Yes, I understand. Look, if you can see your way just this once, yeah? Yeah, of course, no further. And look, Bob, while we're on, you must come over to dinner one day. You're free Sunday? Oh, well, great, yeah, sure, lovely. Joyce would love that, I know. All right, yeah, thanks. What a cruel lamb. He's going to ring back in 5 minutes.
Oh, cheers, Dave.
You want some advice? Give it the old Bill. Let him sort it.
You haven't met Sergeant Soames, have you? Now, listen, if this all works out, I want you to stay with Dave. Is that all right?
Terry!
No, don't argue. I just want you to stay here.
But ask yourself this. Can we, dare we do that here? In the very nucleus, the heart of British justice, the jury room? I think not. Out there is a fellow human being whose very future hangs on our decision. Not to mention his old mum, who's dependent on him. It is frightening, but it is a challenge. And I know you will all be with me when I say it is a challenge we must not shirk.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking for a man called Roberts. I thought you lived here.
Yes, he does, but he's not in at the moment. He's at work. Oh. It's, if you go further right down there, there's a sort of yard that lies just back off the road. You can't miss it. All right?
Yeah, thanks very much.
Well, that's an improvement anyway, isn't it?
This is getting quite impossible.
It is time I'm getting back to my shop.
Really, I mean, I've got 6 for dinner. It's terrible.
No, I can't, Dave. I can't do that.
Yes, you can do. Look, you can still make out the address from the impression. Sometimes even a minder needs minding.
I don't know.
Since you are unable to agree on a verdict, the time has come for me to instruct you that the court will now accept a majority verdict of not less than 10-2.
I want a word with you two scumbags.
I think the man wants his lips retreated, Harry!
Oh, yes, son. You like hospital food? Come on!
Honest, that's the address of one of the blokes, honest.
Where'd you get hold of this?
Oh, for Christ's sake, does it matter? They tried to run Terry over.
For all I know, this could be another of your little concoctions.
Except this time you can check it out.
There's another one in there.
Deb.
Oi, I haven't finished with you yet.
You want to bet?
But are you sure? I mean, isn't there some lurking iota of doubt? I mean, just a little one. No, I don't want to influence you. I mean, it's you who have to live with your conscience, not me.
I am perfectly certain, thank you. And you and your ridiculous rhetoric will not make me change my mind, even if we sit here all night.
And that goes for me also.
And you, madam?
Yeah, what's she holding out? She ain't hardly said a word since we started.
Madam?
Oh, he's guilty, all right. Tried to fug my Albert one of them jackets, didn't he?
Good God, woman, are you saying you know the defendant?
Yeah, lives in the next street, don't he? Always been a bit of a rogue as Johnny Smith. I told my Albert, I said, don't you have anything to do with him, he'll only get you into trouble.
There is a popular myth that handling stolen property is somehow less serious than theft, Smith. It is not one that I subscribe to. If there were no handlers, there would be far fewer thieves. And yet here you are before this court again, with an appalling record of similar offences, having been found guilty, quite properly, in my opinion, on counts 1 and 2. Is there anything you wish to say before I pronounce sentence?
Does this mean, my lord, that I won't be able to go camping with my mum next year?
I know what you're thinking, Mr. Chisholm, but you are wrong. I was with you from the off. I stood alone in there. It was 11 for acquittal when we started. 11. But I held out for justice. I had to put up a terrible battle against ignorance and prejudice. I really did, Mr. Chisholm.
Leave me alone, Arthur, please.
You must be feeling on top of the world, eh? Bit of promotion, I shouldn't wonder. Nice conviction under your belt. Now, look, I do not want thanking. Please don't think that. No, no, no. The man was guilty. I could do no more. Funny, isn't it? Here we are discussing justice. I wonder, would there be any chance of you having a word with someone about my bit of gear? I mean, if I could just get... No, look, I know I went off before, Mr. Chisholm, but that was the shock, you see. It was... Mr. Chisholm, please, look, let me carry your case, please. Bereft and bankrupt you've made me. I only asked you to look after the shop, keep an eye on things. Look at it. A desert where there was once an oasis. I had a cotchel of Italian custom-made shoes there, imported from Taiwan. Have you any idea what they stood me in? Boots. Don't make jokes, Terry, don't make jokes. This is no time for frivolous jollities. And there, 64 boxes of the best scotch, which incidentally have slightly misleading labels. So what do I tell them? Printer's error?
So sue me.
Oh, don't compound your gross dereliction of duty by taking that attitude, my son. You may be nearer the mark than you think. I can get all this up before the Industrial Compensations Board.
Don't talk so bleeding stupid, Arthur.
You are forgetting I know a little about the law. Tragic loss of livelihood due to the totally inept management of the duly delegated officer of the company. After I've had a few receipts printed to cover myself, that is.
Oi, you. Now, I have been beaten up. I've been nearly fitted up. So do you know what you can do with your problems? You can stuff them up your...